Hello guys, in my last video we have seen how to install React app on Windows operating system, and in this video we'll see the folders and file structure, and also we'll learn how to develop a very simple hello world program using React app. Alright, so my name is Rajiv Kumar and you are welcome to my channel Learn with Rajiv. So without wasting any time, let's get started. Once you create a new app in React, you can see there are 3 folders and 4 files. Alright, let us have a look at the most important ones now. The first folder that I would like to discuss is the node_modules folder. This is the location where all the dependencies are installed. It is generated automatically when you run the create react app command. The second folder is the public folder. This folder contains some files. Let us have a look at some of the important ones here. The first file which I would like to discuss is the package.json file. This file contains dependencies and the scripts required for the project. It includes versions and dependencies. In our case, you can see that the version which React is using right now in this application is 16.13.1 and the script version is 3.4.2. It also includes scripts to run, build and test the application. It automatically performs the installation of the dependencies and you do not require to do it manually. The second file which I would like to talk about is the git ignore file. Alright, this is the file. Though at this beginner's level we do not require to discuss much about it. Git ignore is a file in a Git repository that specifies files for Git not in track. Each line of a .git ignore is a pattern. All these are the patterns that you see. Alright, and the blank lines are ignored and the lines that starts with the hash symbol is a commented line. Okay, so for example, if you get a line is somewhere, if you write maybe abc.txt, it means that that file is going to be ignored. Alright, next we have the index.html file. This is perhaps the most important file that we have to discuss in this level. This is the only HTML file you require in your React app. We are only developing single page applications. The view might change dynamically in the browser, but it is in this HTML file that gets served. You are not required to make any changes in this file. Perhaps you may change some. If you want to make any changes, you may require to change only in the head section, but not in the body section. The body section you don't require to do any changes. Understand? Because it is normally generated using the React. We will discuss about it in the later session. There is one more file called roberts.txt file, which is also outside the scope of our discussion for today's session, but just to give you an overview, the web surface is an open place. Almost all the websites on the surface can be accessed by several search engines. For example, if we search something in Google, a vast number of results can be obtained from it. But what if the web designers create something on their website and don't want Google or other search engines to access it? This is where the roberts.txt file comes into picture. Roberts.txt file is a text file created by the designer to prevent the search engines to crawl up their sites. Understand? It contains a site of allowed and disallowed sites, and whenever someone wants to access the website, it checks the roberts.txt file and accesses only those sites that are allowed. It doesn't show up the disallowed sites in the search results. So we will discuss about it in the later sessions. Apart from these files, we also have files such as favicon.ico. Okay, that includes the icon that you have seen in the default page generated by the create react app command. There are also the logo files. You can see there are these are the logo files which you would be changing later when you will be developing your React app. The next is the source or the src folder, which is perhaps the most important folder, as this is a place where as a programmer you will be working the most during the app development. The starting point of our application is index.js file, where we have this app component as the DOM, or you can say the root component, and the DOM element that will be controlled by the React. Right? In this example, the DOM element ID is named as root. If you go back to index.html file, you can find this element there. the div id is equal to root. This is the element which is referring to. We call this div element as the root DOM node, as everything inside it will be controlled by React. Therefore, the app component is rendered inside the root DOM node. That brings us to the app component that is present in the app.js file, which is responsible for HTML display in the browser. Therefore, the app component represents the view that we see on the browser. The app.css file includes all the required styles for various elements in the app component, and the app.test.js file includes it contains the simple test case. Alright, the index.css file that you see here includes styles that are applied to the body tag and the logo.svg that is referenced in the app component. And this service worker.js is also concerned on the progressive web apps and hence not to be discussed at this beginner's level. So that is the folder and file structure of React app created by create react app command. What happens is when you issue the command npm start, it calls the index.html file, alright, in the browser. This file contains the root DOM node. Next, the control enters the index.js file. The React DOM renders the app component onto the root DOM node. The app includes the HTML that is finally displayed in the browser. Okay guys, it's time now for us to develop a simple ReactJS app, so which will just print hello world. So you can see, as we discussed, these are some of the files that you have in the application by default, but not all files will be required at this beginners level. For this very first program which we are going to do, we may not require all these files, so there are some files which we don't require, so I would maybe we can just delete it for the time being. All right, so let me show you which all files are not required now. We don't require this git ignore. I'm just deleting it. Press the delete key. Okay, we don't require this setup test.js, so I'm deleting that as well. We don't require service workers.js. Logo.svg is also not required. I'm deleting it. We have this index.css. Let it remain there. App test.js is not required. I'm deleting that as well. And these are the components, but these components were just generated automatically. We will create components later, so for the time being we don't need it, so I'm just deleting this file also. Okay, this is under src. So inside src we have only two files. I have kept it. One is index.css and the other one is the index.js file. Now under this public folder we have some files like fav icon.ico, these logos, this manifest file, I don't require it now. This roberts.txt also is not required, so I'm just deleting all of them together. So we in this public folder we just have only one single file, which is index.html, and in src or source file directory we have these two files, index.cs and index.js. Okay, now as we know, index.cs will have the style sheet, so we don't even require the styles for just printing hello world, so I'm just removing it for the time being. We will do some coding later. And in index.js file also we will develop the entire program from scratch, so I'm going to remove everything from this file also. Alright, index.html you don't have to make any changes. Maybe you can just remove this comment section so that you can see all the code at once. You can just take out this comment section. Maybe you may require to make changes only in the head section, as I discussed before, but we will come back to this index.html later. So these are the two files only which I have removed. The data I have already removed completely. We will be developing it from scratch. Is it clear? So okay, there are two modules that is required to be included in every React app. So let me include that using the var command. So type var react, that is an object name, is equal to call the method require and pass the name of the module, which is react. So this is the one of the module you have to include. The second one is React DOM. So let me give the object name as React DOM is equal to require, pass the module name, which is React hyphen DOM. So I have included these two modules. All right. Now using this React DOM object, we need to call a function called render, and pass two parameters. Basically for this particular program we need to pass two parameters. The first parameter is what you need to show on the browser. Let's say I want to show h1, and within h1 I need to set a marquee, and within marquee I need to display welcome to React app. This is the message which I want to show. So the first parameter is what to show. The second parameter, put a comma after this entire element, put a comma. The second parameter is where do you want to show. Now in index.html we have a div element which is having the id root, so we would like to display that information here. So what we will do is the second parameter we will refer to that div element by calling using document object. So document dot get element by id, within single quote type the name of the id, which is root. Alright, so there is one more optional parameter which is used to refer to the callback function, but for this particular program we will not require that third parameter. Alright, if you may ask what is this render method? Well, render is a React element into the DOM in the supplied container and returns a reference to the component. If the React element was previously rendered into container, this will perform an update onto it and only mutate the DOM as necessary to reflect the latest React element. We need to see if this project is started or not. So for that we need to come to our terminal window, and there you first change the directory to Raj app that we have created and type npm start. So it is getting started now. The program is compiling and we may get an error or we will get a message. If we get a message means we are good to go. So this is a small demonstration where I have explained to you how a welcome message can be printed by developing a simple React application. Hold on for a moment. When we started this video, we wanted to print another message which is hello world and not this welcome message. So let me just change this message back to hello world, because that is what we wanted to print initially, isn't it? Hello world, and let me recompile this program. Just press Ctrl S, it will save and compile the code and bring the message to you in the browser. So let me open my browser and see if it works. Yes, it works. Okay, let me just minimize this browser for the time being. We don't require it. We have this HTML code. It looks like an HTML code in appearance, but it is actually not. This is the JSX code, and we will be discussing about this code in detail in the next video. Okay, we are able to write this code here due to a feature called Babel. What is Babel? Babel is a JavaScript compiler that includes the ability to compile JSX into regular JavaScript. Alright, and there is one more feature called Webpack. Webpack is a popular module bundling system built on top of Node.js. It is used to bundle all the folders and files of your React app. We'll discuss about this also in detail in the later sessions. So we are able to use this Webpack and Babel because we have included this module here called React. The moment we include this module, Babel and Webpack will be available in your program. Is that clear? So that was a very small demonstration about folders and file structure and a very simple Hello World program using React app. If you have not subscribed my channel yet, please do so and like and share my video. and do not forget to hit that notification button so that you can get the updates very frequently. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more information about React app in my next video. Until then, bye bye.